A healthy of mind being would just answer the question. Most likely they'd say, I don't feel that God is extincting me, and then state why you think that, not just avoid answering the question. Just like, why do you refuse to give me housing? Why did you charge me as a witch? Why did you take my children? Why did you take my house? Why do you keep fucking ignoring me for 15 years? That's not normal. That's consciousness of guilt and just continuously running. Why do you keep lying and saying I don't have health insurance? Why do you keep lying and say I'm not on a wait list, or I was on a wait list, or I didn't give you something? Hi. That's called denial, just completely locked in denial, and then the rest of it is like weird avoidance and bargaining. I'm sure Carl Jung went through this. And those people probably said, I don't feel God's extincting me, and then they explained their made-up fantasy thing about how they're not dying. So different personalities probably make up different things. Primates are pretty simple, so that becomes what's called a religion, a doctrine. It has nothing to do with me, and you have nothing to do with me, and I have nothing to do with you, seem to work to get rid of that person. So like I said, my husband and I were just discussing about what would actually make sense and what would be reality in terms of not being around any of you beings ever again, and being prepared to pass on out of here. So hopefully that's going to happen soon. That's God does it. Well, he said he thought he was wondering why he didn't die when that guy hit him in the head with the hammer. So he probably just wasn't ready to go. Fear of the unknown. Maybe he didn't want to go where he's going without me, because that's what he keeps expressing to everybody, and they refuse to listen to him in a madness. Like it bears some importance to you that he has to be a primate or something. Like you know who he is, and then he has to be you, and he's not, because he repeatedly chooses to stay with me. He has an understanding that his brain has been all messed up from his upbringing and the mercury injections and the Adderall that he's been given since childhood. He knows that. He doesn't really remember much of the time with me before the brain injury because of the Adderall and the alcohol and the marijuana.